Hello everybody! Last time I showed you how to fix n+1 problem with entity graph. And there is one more fix can be for it, depends on the situation. And let me show you what does that mean. So let's say in case of entity graph, you have this query, right? You have one big query with join. And if you will try to fit it lazily, then you just will get prefetched data. So as you can see here, get books. You see, it is lazy. So what's the issue of that, and what's the another way can be fixed? So the problem with fetching all data up front can lead to overfetching, especially if the related entities are not always used. And here's the batch size annotation. So let me show you batch size annotation. And it's easy. You just need to add this annotation to author entity for the books. What does that mean? It means that make optimization for lazy loading by reducing the number of queries when accessing related entities. Let me show an example I ran before already. Just a second. So, for example, instead of one query per author, it fetches books in batches. For example, 10 authors at a time. As you can see here, used in. And wildcard, 10 wildcards here, you see? This is efficient when related entities are accessed conditionally or not always needed. Queries are executed only when lazy loaded collections is accessed. This avoids unnecessary data fetching upfront. So this actually fixes n+1 problem. But here's the drawback also, because it still involves multiple queries, though fewer due to batching, which may not be ideal for large datasets. And what I would recommend is, from performance perspective, of course, use batch size when you need balance lazy loading with query optimization, and use, for example, entity graph when related entities are always required to minimize the number of queries. And you need to fetch everything in one go. And the difference also is, for making it in one go, you need to add annotation entity graph to the repository, and you need to add explicitly method. But if you're adding batch size, then you don't need to do anything. You just need to add to the entity the batch size annotation. That's kinda can be easier. Also, for example, instead of entity graph, you can use JPQL with fetch, but that also requires writing manually new query, and this can be used for special conditions. That's pretty much what I wanted to say for today. Thank you for watching. If it's interesting, please subscribe, add comments,